All right, so let's dive into something that I think has been bugging photographers like forever.
Oh, yeah.
Getting those colors just right.
For sure.
You know how frustrating it is
Absolutely.
to like nail a shot
Yeah.
and you think you got it,
Yeah.
and then you get home, you're like, oh man, the colors are all washed out, or they got a weird tint to them.
Yeah, it's a common struggle, and it all comes down to white balance.
Yeah.
Cameras just aren't as good as our eyes at adjusting to like all the different lighting conditions.
Totally. Yeah. I've definitely been there.
Yeah.
And I've tried all the usual tricks, you know, messing with the white balance presets.
Sure.
Waving around that trusty 18% gray card.
Right.
But honestly, the results are often just
hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works.
Yep.
Sometimes it doesn't.
And that's the problem with those traditional methods, is that they're easily thrown off by all the surrounding colors. Yeah, even a slight reflection can just totally skew the results.
So what's the solution then? Well, I've been hearing a lot of buzz about this Raynauld full color spectrum.
Okay.
And their special filter.
Right.
They claim it's like the key to perfect white balance. No matter what the lighting conditions are.
Okay.
Color me skeptical.
Yeah.
Is this just hype?
Right.
Or is there something truly revolutionary going on here?
Well, let's unpack it.
Okay.
This isn't just another gray card.
Okay.
The Raynauld full color spectrum is a palette with just this vast range of colors.
Okay.
Designed to mimic the full spectrum of light that we actually see in the real world.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But how does a rainbow of colors help with white balance?
That's a good question.
Are we aiming for neutral gray?
Right, and that's where the Raynauld Directivity White Balance Magic Filter comes in.
Okay, the filter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Think of it like a magnifying glass, but for color. So this filter works with the spectrum to isolate the pure, uncontaminated light from the spectrum to calibrate your camera perfectly.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the colors themselves.
Yeah.
It's how this filter actually captures and focuses that light.
Exactly. It's all about eliminating any of that color pollution from the environment.
Interesting.
This filter has these special features called scene limitation and pointing light extraction that let you zero in on just the color spectrum, blocking out everything else.
So I'm picturing this filter like a laser beam.
Okay.
Just honing in on the pure color data.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how does that translate into real-world results?
So imagine taking like a really old camera, one with a display that's so color shifted it's practically unusable.
Like how old are we talking?
We're talking about like a Nikon D5000 that was on its last legs.
Oh, wow.
You use this system with it.
Yeah.
And the photos that came out of that old camera were astonishing.
Really?
Clear, sharp, and the colors were spot on. Even with like a totally wonky display, the Raynauld system nailed the white balance, proving just how powerful this technology is.
Okay, you've officially piqued my curiosity.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see why this is generating so much buzz.
Yeah.
But let's get practical here.
Sure.
How does a photographer actually use this system?
Okay.
Is it a complicated process?
It's surprisingly straightforward, actually. You simply place the full color spectrum in front of you, making sure that the light source is behind you.
Got it.
And then using the filter, you point your camera at the spectrum and use that as your target for setting the white balance manually.
So no need for fancy software or calculations?
Yeah.
Just point and shoot, basically?
Well, there are a few tips to get the best results.
Oh.
Like, for example, it's best to position the spectrum in the shade to avoid direct sunlight.
Makes sense.
And using your head shadow can help reduce unwanted reflections.
Clever.
Yeah.
Any other insider tips?
Tilting the lens slightly can also help avoid distortion from reflections.
Okay.
It's all about minimizing any interference from, like, stray light.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So we've covered the why and the how.
Right.
But let's talk about the payoff.
Okay.
What kind of difference are we talking about here? Are these subtle improvements?
I think you're going to see a significant improvement.
Okay.
Especially if you've been battling those pesky color casts.
Ugh. Yeah. Tell me about it.
For instance, some Canon cameras tend to have like a purplish tint.
Yeah.
And Sony photos can lean towards blue.
Interesting.
This system helps eliminate those biases, giving you colors that are much closer to what you actually see.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And what about skin tones?
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing this could be a dream come true for portrait photographers.
Absolutely. Skin tones are notoriously tricky.
Yeah.
But this system helps you get them right every time.
Wow.
No more reddish or yellowish casts.
Okay.
Just natural, healthy-looking skin.
Okay. I'm starting to think this might be worth ditching my old gray card for.
Yeah.
But like any new tool, I'm sure there are limitations, right?
Of course, it's primarily designed for daytime shooting,
Okay.
where you have plenty of light. It's not really meant for night scenes or astrophotography, where you're working with very low light levels.
So in those situations, I'd stick with the standard procedures for the filter.
Exactly.
Without the full color spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also important to remember that this system addresses white balance specifically.
Got it.
It's not like a magic fix for all photographic issues.
Right.
Like if your lens has a strong color cast or your sensor is faulty, those problems will still be there.
Right. It's a powerful tool, but not a cure-all.
Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly.
Before we move on, there's one thing that's been like really piquing my interest.
Okay.
We've been talking about the technical aspects.
Yeah.
But what about the bigger picture? Well, if photographers can now achieve this level of color accuracy, could it change the way we document our lives and perceive the world around us?
That's interesting.
Could this be a step towards a future where digital images reflect the true beauty and vibrancy of our visual experiences?
I see what you're saying.
Without those subtle, or sometimes not so subtle, color distortions.
That's a fascinating thought, and it's one we'll definitely delve into further in the next part of this deep dive.
Okay.
We'll explore how this technology could impact different types of photography.
Awesome.
From landscapes to portraits.
Cool.
And even delve into how it could shape our perception of reality in a world just saturated with digital imagery.
I'm looking forward to it.
Stay tuned. It's kind of mind-blowing to think that something as seemingly technical as white balance could actually have like a huge impact on our visual culture.
You're right. We often take color for granted.
We do.
But it really does shape how we experience the world.
It does.
Think about how a bright red can make you feel alert.
Yeah.
Or how a soft blue can create a sense of calm.
Exactly. Color evokes such powerful emotions and memories.
Yeah.
And if we're constantly seeing photos of like skewed colors, it's almost like we're looking at the world through like a distorted lens.
That's like listening to your favorite song with the bass cranked way up.
Yeah.
You get the basic idea,
yeah,
but the experience just isn't the same.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
And think about just how many images we see every single day.
Oh my gosh.
So many.
Like overwhelming.
It's constant.
And so those subtle distortions can really add up.
Yeah. So let's talk about how this color accuracy revolution could impact different types of photography.
Okay.
Imagine capturing landscapes with perfect fidelity.
Oh, wow.
Those breathtaking vistas, just as your eye sees them.
The possibilities are endless.
Right.
Think about capturing, like, the vibrant greens of a rainforest.
Yeah.
The fiery oranges of a desert sunset. Or the deep blues of a glacial lake.
All with absolute accuracy.
It's like transporting the viewer right into the scene.
Exactly.
And for wildlife photographers, being able to record the true colors of animals could be vital for scientific research.
Accurate color could be crucial for things like
what?
Species identification or understanding animal behavior.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And let's not forget street photography.
Oh, yeah.
Capturing the energy and grit of city life.
Right.
I bet true-to-life colors could add a whole new layer of authenticity to those images.
For sure. Like the vibrancy of street art.
Yeah.
The subtle hues of a bustling market. Even just the way light reflects off a rain-slick street.
Wow.
Those details come alive with accurate color.
It makes you wonder if this push for color accuracy could be a reaction to the whole Instagram versus reality phenomenon.
That's interesting.
You know, where people go overboard with filters and create these like hyper-idealized versions of themselves and their experiences.
Right. It's a fascinating thought. Maybe this technology could encourage photographers to embrace a more authentic aesthetic.
Right, like a backlash against those overly filtered, almost artificial-looking images we see so much of online.
But on the other hand, this technology could also be used to enhance and manipulate photos even further.
Oh, that's true.
It's a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for good or bad.
It really comes down to the photographer's vision and intention.
Absolutely.
But hey, at least now they have the option to capture accurate colors.
Yeah.
If they choose to.
Exactly.
And it's not just for professionals, right?
Yeah.
Everyday people could benefit from this technology too.
Absolutely. Think about like family vacation photos. Capturing those special moments with the people you love.
Yeah.
Imagine those memories preserved in a way that truly reflects how you saw them.
Wow.
With all the colors vibrant and true.
those photos would be so much more meaningful.
It would.
Like you're actually back in that moment.
Yeah.
It's like the difference between a faded postcard and a high-definition video.
Exactly. And as this technology becomes more accessible, it could really boost the average person's visual literacy.
What do you mean by visual literacy?
Like, people might start paying more attention to subtle color variations. They might become more critical of manipulated images and more appreciative of photos that capture the world as it truly is.
That's a really positive outlook.
Yeah.
But I also wonder if this like hyper-realistic color could have some unintended consequences.
Like what?
Could it make us even more dissatisfied with the limitations of our own eyesight?
That's a good point.
I mean, if we're constantly looking at these perfectly color-corrected images, the real world might seem kind of dull in comparison.
It's like listening to a perfectly mastered recording and then going to a live concert. The concert will always have its own raw energy and imperfections, which can be part of its charm.
You're right. There's a magic to experiencing things firsthand.
For sure.
Even if it's not perfectly polished.
Exactly. But maybe this technology can actually help us appreciate those real-life moments even more.
Absolutely.
By showing us the world with such accuracy, it might encourage us to look closer.
Okay.
To notice, like, the subtle nuances of color and light that we often miss in our daily lives.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's not about replacing reality,
no.
but enhancing our appreciation for it.
Exactly. And you know, this brings up another important aspect we haven't discussed fully yet.
What's that?
The emotional power of color.
Right. We've been focused on the technical side.
Yeah.
But color is so much more than just pixels and data.
It is.
It's deeply connected to our feelings and how we experience the world.
Exactly. And that's where things get really fascinating.
It's funny how we started this deep dive talking about like all this really technical stuff.
Yeah.
You know, white balance and color accuracy.
Right.
And now we're like venturing into the realm of emotions.
Well, it's unavoidable, really.
Yeah.
I mean, color is such a powerful trigger for our emotion. It's like woven into our very being.
Right.
You know, going all the way back to our ancestors.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Think about it. We associate blue with calmness and peace.
Yeah.
Probably because of the sky and the ocean. While red often signals danger or excitement.
Right.
Like fire or blood.
Exactly.
These are deep-rooted connections.
They are, absolutely. And those associations have a massive impact on how we see and understand the world.
Yeah.
Think about how, like, a warm golden light can make a room feel cozy and welcoming.
Yeah.
While a harsh white light can feel sterile and impersonal.
Totally.
Yeah.
Or how a vibrant color palette in a movie can set a lighthearted tone.
Oh, for sure.
While a muted palette might signal something more serious or dramatic.
Exactly. And it's not just about individual colors.
Okay.
It's also about how colors interact with each other.
Interesting.
So, like, complementary colors like blue and orange or red and green can create this sense of energy and vibrancy. Yeah. While analogous colors, those that are next to each other on the color wheel, can evoke a sense of harmony and peace.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing how much thought goes into choosing colors in like everything.
Yeah.
From interior design.
For sure.
To fashion. To filmmaking.
It's a whole language.
It's not just about what looks pretty.
No.
It's about creating a specific mood or feeling.
You got it. And for photographers, having the tools to capture those colors accurately. Yeah. It just opens up a whole new world of creative expression.
Totally.
It's like having a richer, more nuanced vocabulary to work with.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So if we think of color as a language of emotion, then this Raynauld full color spectrum is like a high-fidelity translator.
Okay.
It helps photographers communicate their vision more clearly and powerfully.
I like that.
Without any distortions.
And for those viewing the photos, seeing those true-to-life colors can deepen their emotional connection to the image.
Right.
It's like the difference between hearing a song through like a tiny speaker. Yeah.
Versus like high-quality headphones.
Yeah.
You know, the details are sharper, the nuances are more apparent, and the overall experience is just more immersive.
This makes me wonder about the potential for using this technology in like therapeutic settings.
Oh, interesting.
I've heard about color therapy being used to help people with anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Do you think accurate color reproduction in photography could play a role in that?
It's definitely an area worth exploring.
Yeah.
If certain colors can evoke positive emotional responses, then having access to images that accurately reproduce those colors could have therapeutic benefits.
It's just like having a window to a peaceful landscape.
Yeah.
Or a garden bursting with vibrant flowers right there in your hand.
Exactly.
And even beyond therapy, I can imagine this level of color accuracy having a positive impact on our overall well-being.
For sure.
Wouldn't it be amazing to surround yourself with images that inspire joy, peace, or a sense of wonder?
It's like a daily dose of visual vitamins. I love that.
And it's not just about seeking out positive emotions either.
Okay.
Accurate color can also help us process and understand difficult emotions. For example, a photojournalist could capture the raw reality of a conflict zone. And those true-to-life colors could help us connect with the human stories behind the headlines.
That's a powerful thought.
Yeah.
It's like we're not just seeing the world more clearly, but feeling it more deeply as well.
Exactly. And that's what makes this whole conversation so exciting. We started with this seemingly technical topic, but it's led us to something much deeper.
Right.
The power of color to connect us to each other, to the world around us, and to our own emotions.
It's like we're at the beginning of a new era of visual storytelling. One where color plays a more nuanced and meaningful role.
Yeah, I like that.
Who knows? Maybe this pursuit of perfect color accuracy will inspire all of us to look more closely at the world around us. And appreciate the beauty that's often hidden in plain sight.
Perhaps it will remind us that true beauty isn't about perfection, but about embracing the imperfections that make life so unique and vibrant.
What a great note to end our deep dive on.
I agree.
And as always, we like to leave you with something to ponder.
Okay.
What if we could use color, not just to document the world, but to change it?
Interesting.
What if, by harnessing the power of color, we could create images that inspire empathy, understanding, and action?
That's something to think about.
That's something to think about as you go about your day.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this colorful journey.
Thanks, everyone.
And we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.